According to the Karakalpakstan blog, Karakalpak is a Turkic language of the Kipchak group, specifically under the subgroup Kipchak Nogay. There are several similarities between Karakalpak and the most commonly spoken Turkic language today, Istanbul Turkish. Such similarities are Koşbul, Hoşbul, Sizin adınız kim? Sizin adınız ne? Benim adım Emin, Benim adım Emin. According to the EHRAF World Cultures, the Karakalpak people originate from the ethnic mixing of indigenous Iranians of the Mediterranean Caucasoid race, known as the Saks, with the Altaic-speaking Mongoloids, among them being the Oghuz, Turks, and Huns. Karakalpaks got their Turkic influence from the Kipchaks. After a series of events in history eventually leading to the lower Karakalpaks, there was an upper Karakalpak group that had been split from the lower Karakalpaks to migrate to the Amu Daira Delta, and eventually on December 5th, 1936, Karakalpakia became recognized as an ASSR within Uzbekistan. According to the Central Asia Guide, Turkic aspects of Karakalpak language have originated from influences of the Pechenegs, Oghuz, Golden Horde, Kazakhs, Kipchaks, Uzbeks, and Turkmen tribal alliances. According to the EHRAF World Cultures, Karakalpaks are traditionally Sunni Muslims who follow the Hanafi school. A typical Karakalpak family would consist of 4 children. Karakalpaks hold close ties to a group of families of whom claim to have a common ancestor 4 to 5 generations ago, in which Karakalpaks call this as Koshe, which is seen more like a claim to certain territory and close kinship. According to the Central Asia Guide, the Karakalpak people are also well known for their achievements among the local craftsmen in leather embossing, weaving, wood carving, and embroidery. A part of the national identity of Karakalpaks lies in their rich folklore, dances, and ceremonies and music, which according to Adventor, such as Kosik, which includes subtypes of Sinsu, Bet Ashar, and Korumluk. Another type of music is also Zirao, which is a type of throat singing accompanied by the instrument kobis. Over time, the Karakalpaks had maintained a certain form of farming, that being a combination of irrigation with fishing and sheep herding, where they would grow millet, rice, wheat, sorghum, cotton, sesame, and sowed alfalfa, yet as the soil surrounding the Aral Sea increases in salinity, it has been hard to preserve the farming culture. According to the Georgetown Journal of National Affairs, the Aral Sea, the primary agricultural resource of the Karakalpaks, has been shrinking into the Aralkum Desert as a result of large water diversion from the Suri Daira and Amu Daira rivers for the purposes of growing cotton and other agricultural purposes. Due to the drying of the Aral Sea, this has caused many fisheries to collapse and has resulted in the security of water and food to diminish alongside the exposure to harmful chemicals. Women in Karakalpakstan have suffered maternal mortality rates 4 times greater compared to the rest of Uzbekistan. Many Karakalpaks have migrated out of Karakalpakstan for economic reasons to countries such as Kazakhstan, Russia, and other areas of Uzbekistan. There has been proposals seeking to partially rehabilitate the Aral Sea, however the Uzbek government responded with little interest. There has also been little effort put into lessening Tashkent's dependence upon the cotton economy, which has been contributing to the drying of the Aral Sea. According to a minority rights group, native Karakalpaks face discrimination when they migrate to Kazakhstan for economic purposes. Karakalpaks suffer from poverty and many have lost their livelihoods due to the retreat of the Aral Sea. According to the Institute for War and Peace reporting, Aman Sagidulaev, leader of a small separatist Alga Karakalpakstan movement living in Norway, accused Tashkent of systematic discrimination such as repressing the Karakalpak language. Now, why should we be concerned about the Karakalpak language shrinking in its popularity? First off, it's necessary to preserve a relatively closer global understanding of the Karakalpak language's similarities to other Turkic languages, which can be done through spreading awareness of Karakalpak similarities with other Turkic languages, and granting those who natively speak it greater access to the world by improving literacy skills, and granting Karakalpaks greater access to translations online. However, as according to the Institute for War and Peace reporting, news sites are more and more commonly using Kazakh, Uzbek, or Russian instead of Karakalpak. There has also been a lack of a standardized script for the Karakalpak language in the past century, causing greater confusion among generations. Without a standardized script, it's harder to keep a larger Karakalpak native society, among which has strong literacy skills, to share their language through writing. Without being able to properly spread awareness on a global scale of the Karakalpak language, Karakalpak natives would end up being left out as Uzbekistan progresses to shrink the language, making it harder to bring Karakalpaks into the greater Turkic identity among Turkic nations through similarities in language and culture, thus making it more possible for ethnic conflicts. Reduced ethnic conflicts would allow for a mentally healthier Turkic people who, as a result, will gain intelligence from better mental clarity and bring more benefit to the world through innovations and perhaps even spread the Karakalpak's strong culture of craftsmanship. Now, as an individual, how can you help preserve the Karakalpak language? One way you can help is by contributing to the Karakalpak Wikipedia by Nikos Likomitros, where there is a page on the website asking to spread the Karakalpak Wikipedia by translating it into other languages to help spread awareness of the website. Check it out on the article called Introducing the Karakalpak Wikipedia, a new developing project at diff.wikipedia.org. I'll also link it in the description. Another way you can help preserve the Karakalpak language is by spreading awareness of this video to others, because spreading awareness of this video to others can inspire deeper intellectual curiosity among others to dive deeper into the Karakalpak language, especially Turkic people who are curious about the similarities between their own language and Karakalpak language. And last but not least, the best way to preserve the language is to try to learn some phrases yourself. There are some phrases you can learn from the YouTube video Similarities Between Turkish and Karakalpak by the YouTuber Bahadur Alas, which will be linked in the description. Here are some Karakalpak phrases that I would like to preserve that I found interesting. And by the way, I borrowed these phrases from the YouTube video Similarities Between Turkish and Karakalpak from the YouTuber Bahadur Alas. And the translations to these phrases come partially from the video and from my own interpretation from my Turkish background. Baxib bul azanda kwanib khums kabarganin al kishte kwanib uyge kaitkanin. Koy ömür boyu kaskırdan korkup ceseydi bıraklana şu panjeydi.